Thank you and welcome back to Nine World Chronicles. Today I want to talk a little bit about the mythology associated with the month of January, which is, by the way, my birth month. So it's a great month as far as I'm concerned. And it's linked to a lot of mythology in various parts of the world. Now, first, the name January comes from the Roman deity Janus. And Janus himself was a god of beginnings, transitions, doorways, and time. So all this is linked to January. He is depicted with two faces as he was looking at the past, but also looking forward to the future as well. So he was seen as the perfect deity, obviously, to start the new year off. But there's other associations with January as well. January is obviously seen as the time of new beginnings, being that this is our calendar season, although everything seemed to be very dormant during this period of time. And the Greeks represented that dormant time. So you see representations of Persephone, but typically seen along with her mother Demeter, as this was a time when they marked by them being separated, but knowing that they would once again be rejoined in the spring. So it is a time of dormancy, but looking forward to renewal. It's also, if you can see, this deity here, who is a Norse goddess, and Norse goddess Skadi, who is said to be a goddess of winter. And there were other figures that were also associated with winter, especially from Germanic culture. The whole idea of Christmas and that season and all the plentiful deities that they associate with, Frau Perchna, as well as ideas like Jack Frost, all basically come from Germanic beliefs in the winter traditions. Although the Celtic faith also had observances for the winter solstice, which is the biggest part of January, is that this is marking the beginning of winter, or the winter solstice, or the midwinter observances all fall in January. Obviously, solstice is in December. So this was a great time for celebration, as well as offerings and sacrifices were made to the various deities that were associated with winter. In the case of the Celtics, they would have done that with Bridget, a goddess who was of fertility, light, and renewal. So again, those concepts are very heavily rooted. And in American culture as well, or Western culture, we'd see the concept of Father Time and the baby New Year, again marking the old being Father Time, finally running out, and bam, we have the new baby New Year to start the fresh year out. So January riddled with lots of great mythologies, notably nothing from the African continent, primarily because of their approximation to the equator. So civilizations that lived along the equator were not as much impacted, obviously, by the changing from the tilt of the sun. They were always pretty much in that same zone, or right within that same parameter. So they don't observe winter deities in the way that cultures that live further away from the equator do. So a very interesting note about winter solstice events and other cultures around the world, and that this is something that we see as a big disconnect. We're used to this idea, whereas other peoples don't necessarily see it. Although they may celebrate a giving time of year tied to their religion, like particularly Christianity, they may not have the other ideas of winter that go along with it and the way that we personify them. But if you have more to add to this very interesting topic, please drop me in the comment section, and as always, hit that like and subscribe.